We call the benevolent beings of light, archangels, and ascended masters to guide and inspire us during this forum. Our forum's vision is to bring the understanding, tools, discipline, and support for those seeking to enter the straight and narrow path, the road less traveled, that will lead us along effectively and steadily through the ascension process. Integration of the human experience with our divine origin is moving us full circle to achieve our divine potential. So be it. Amen.
No good thing shall be withheld. Confidence is especially important on the spiritual path. Confidence that the universe loves you and knows what it is doing, and confidence that when the universe sends the unexpected your way, you'll rally and deal with it. Confidence allows you to make your choices from a place of love rather than fear. Fear-based decisions promise relief, but actually tend to create even more problems. This oracle suggests that you acknowledge aloud whatever problem needs solving, and then create a little inner spaciousness based on a relaxed and trusting attitude of confidence, so that the universe can and will step in to sort things out. Joyfully anticipate an abundance of blessings made manifest in your world.
That was excellent. Thank you so much. Very important. I hope you enjoyed that. 5D portal. That was really intense. But I'm telling you, everybody, that portal is wide open. It is wide open. It's been open for a while, but now it's wide open. And we can step into this as soon as you feel you're ready. Is it happening? It's happening to all of us. All of us. I know that as you listen to the steps and stages of this, that you're finding that you're actually involved in all of this transformation. I can tell you personally that the synchronicities, the incredible surprises that keep happening, meeting people out of the clear blue that you've been thinking about in the morning, sometime in the afternoon. That everything that is happening inside us is starting to reflect outside us. This is a magical moment. Time is so speeded up that we're losing track of days. We're finding ourselves in a situation where they're just all blending into each other. We don't even know if somebody says, when did you go to the movies? And you go, you know what? I have no idea, because it's already 3 days later and it seems like a week. I remember back in the 90s when I was told we've actually gone 10 times the speed that we were at before. What are we at now? That the days are flying by so fast that you can't even register in your mind what you accomplished in that day, because before you know it, the day was over. It's just for you to really realize there's a lot of resistance going on. That last part is what I really wanted you to listen to. We're going through a lot of resistance because our bodies are hurting and in different places at different times. And we're finding ourselves with our diets changing because our stomach hurts when we eat the regular foods that we normally did, that we can't really go back to old habits of different types of foods that are just, it just goes right through you. It's just not working out too well. Also, noise. For me, noise, I can't take any noise. I need so much silence in my life now. Certain voices that people have just is like a screeching sound in my ears, like some of the politicians lately. It is something it's very difficult to listen to anybody. And also, I find that because everything is happening so fast, I start to do something, and then if I take a moment's break, I don't go back to it. I go into something else because I realize I needed to get certain things done, and I just didn't have enough of a day. Are you feeling this? Those of you that are working, are you finding yourself like, oh my goodness, I can't get through this day. It's insane. Yeah. And people, they're so impatient. They're going through so much stress, especially the ones that aren't doing their inner work. We're doing our inner work, and yet we're feeling the inner stressors because our bodies are screaming, slow down. Our consciousness wants to expand. Our bodies are expanding. Our fields are expanding. And we're in the middle of it going, what is going on? I am exhausted. Do we sleep more? Do we actually sleep? Are we resting? Or are we having dreams? Crazy dreams, visions. But the good part of all of this is the knowing, how you just seem to know. The phone rings and I go, oh, Charlie, that's so-and-so. And he picks it up and it's so-and-so. And it happens constantly now. Or Charlie is thinking something and I say it out loud. The people closest to you are the ones that you're actually dealing with telepathy, whether you know it or not, especially with babies. I went to a christening. This little kid was talking away from here to my head and telling me a million things about where she came from, what she wants to do. She was a year, she'll be a year next month. She's 11 months old, not a word out of her mouth. And her brother's 2 years old. He doesn't talk. He just uses this, and he expects you to know that what he said to you. And people that don't, he gets very angry at them. Like, what is wrong with you that you can't hear what I'm telling you? So he'll just go over to what it was and he'll stare at it until somebody responds. These two kids are very special. Very, very special. And that's what you can expect coming in. They're here. They've been here since 2009. These are 5D children, not very patient here in this ridiculous matrix that they came into. And yet there's a peace on them coming from their fields that can't even be described. We are turning into that. They are born with it. That's why the academies are going to keep them right where they are and not take them out of it or disbelieve that their imagination isn't real. They're creating, and so are we. So I want you to be clear on the really essence of this whole talk that was there. There are so many signs, so many things happening, but if you don't write stuff down each day, make notes. You don't have to write everything that happened, but the things that you realize are your expanded consciousness is so important for you to get down. And then once a month, you open up your journal and look at where you were and where you are in just a month. See, I did all this back in the 80s, And when I went back, even now, when I go back and read it, I go, oh my Lord, the things that I went through, the way that I thought, the enormous periods of time when I was really deeply into the meditation and yoga and things where I just chilled out of the world. I don't have to do that anymore because I can operate in a different way now. But I'm telling you, you're all going through everything that they talked about on there. The trouble was he repeated it too many times to kind of get it into your consciousness. When I teach in a class, when I used to teach at Empire College, I had to do that because people register things differently. And so if you say it in a little different way each time, eventually everybody's going to find the thing that made them it sunk in. So he's like was doing a beginner class. The unbelievable, wonderful, amazing things that are happening just beyond our reach of seeing it and hearing it is actually going on. This portal is wide open and it's working us constantly every single day. Our higher self, our divine self, the Christ in us, has been really turning on the heat with some of us that are kind of lagging a little bit and getting sidetracked into things that aren't really nourishing you. So if you find that things are not going really smooth sometimes, just kind of sit down and take a breather. Just slow down and let the inspiration come through. The thing that I am feeling very strongly is the vibration of energy. It's doing it right now to me, where I just feel it running through me, all my nerves, through the structure, through my energy field, and it kind of makes me almost stutter because it's so high intensity. And after, you know, maybe 12 hours of feeling this, I'm exhausted. I just want to go to sleep. As you get rid of the blocks of all of the things that still trouble you, you see, if anything troubles you, it isn't out there that it's coming from. I promise you. It's coming from inside, from our past, from our beliefs, from our patterns. If you want to be a free-flowing conduit of Christmas, I almost said, of Christ light. Well, it feels like Christmas. These blocks need to go. Now you can go for massage, which is going to bring things out of the muscle, out of the tissues, and up into your fields. It'll help you to release what was blocking. A lot of places that you have pain is not necessarily the lifting of your body. It's actually experiencing the blocks that are left in your system, in your emotional body, in your physical body, and your mental body. When light is coming through me, let's say I'm sitting in meditation, and all of a sudden I feel like a pain someplace, I know that that's a block. So what I'll do is I just start concentrating on that spot. If it doesn't go away, I put my hands on wherever it is. If it's in an awkward place, it's a little difficult, but if you need to do your back, you can do it on the placement on the front and see the light going through to the back. When you feel a lot of pain all the time in one place, ask that place in your body to help you by letting go, releasing whatever it's holding and let it into the field so that you can process it. You might feel sad or angry. With me, it's very profound, the feeling. I know if it's sadness or if it's anger. Now, a lot of us have a lot of grief that we haven't dealt with from all kinds of situations in our life. Actually going back to childhood, but we brought that stuff in. Whatever you suffered with as a kid, you actually brought it in with you from the last experience that you had. Now, these 5D children that are here, they're very innocent. They really are mesmerized by what happens around them because they're not used to a physical world. And I was getting a real kick just watching these two little ones go through their antics of discovery. But we also are in a stage of discovery. And the reason I say that to you is because each time we overcome something that we've been suffering with before, we've lifted into a higher stage of frequency that puts us in a different law system, and we have to actually adjust to it. Now, when you're moving like lightning, like I did against all of the recommendations I was given from on high, you actually stop dead in your tracks because you have no idea how to operate, because everything that is too heavy for you to be there comes up into your consciousness and you're overwhelmed. But none of you are doing that. I was just too ambitious. Might be the Aries in me, I'm not sure. But I love the feeling of peace that came over me every time I process something. And I can tell you, it is the answer to the question, how do I get to my potential? We must become empty, completely empty, because everything, even thoughts, are energy. For your sake, commit yourself to your higher self to help you to get where you want to go. Everyone that I work with says the same thing. I want to be done. I want to be in my potential. And I did too. I did. But you are. You're right where you're supposed to be. But if you're having any difficulties, if you feel frustrated, if you find that things are not working out, then it's because there's blockages and it's trying to get your attention so that you can be free. I've had such an array of counseling this week that it's really making it clear to me all the different stages and steps that people are in right now. So it proves to me that this is an individual journey. It is. Collectively, we're all given the same opportunities, but individually, we're making choices and working on ourselves as we choose. Because this portal is open, giving us every opportunity through the level of light that's coming in to your fields every day of your life. Start using it. Experiment with telepathy with somebody. Play a game about it. See if you can guess. Have somebody hold a card up and see if you can just in your whole your mind, you say, oh, a 5 of hearts. They turn it around. You'll jump out of your skin when it's a 5 of hearts. Okay? Play games with yourself. Test yourself. Really, really try to register your dreams. They're telling you so much from your subconscious. The mighty light that's coming from the entire universe. The great beings of light that are working diligent day and night. They don't sleep like we do, but they like it when we're sleeping. We're quieter and they can actually communicate with us better. You guys have some really high level beings around you. So there's no doubt that you are ready and you are working where you need to be. Are you aware that you have worked on all the colors of the spectrum, all of them, and multiple times, learning what each one has to offer you? And you've gone in your sleep state to these wonderful temples that are in the inner planes above certain areas in the world. You have been there. And you're going to start having remembrances of lives in different countries, languages that seem easy to you, and you almost feel like you understand it even if you didn't study it. And even more back, farther, you're going to have remembrances and wonder, where was I when that happened? And why do I think about this place or these people? I got to be careful because of the time. We're really running late because that video is so long. So, when you write your questions tonight, when we go into the segment now, I want you to really ask questions having to do with experiences that you are having right now. Anything that stumps you, anything that seems different than normal for you, this is the time to talk about it. Okay? All right. So I'm going to close here. It's early, but I'm going to close here and we're going to go into segment 2. Thank you very much for listening. I hope that the message from that video hit you at some point very deeply and helped you to understand where you're at. We are at a very, very wonderful place. I'm telling you. We don't have to be done to feel that. We're right there now. Life is not what it used to be. Our hearts are open. I can feel your hearts. Your hearts are open. And that is big because most people, if you're walking in public, they have more walls around them than a castle because they're scared and they're feeling feelings they don't know what to do with. And they don't understand what we understand, that this is our ascension. And because time is speeding up so much, I want to reassure you, it is showing how close we're getting to that doorway into 5D. All right. Anybody listening to this on YouTube, it is a short one, but I'll have a closure later and we'll go into more detail. Okay? Free your soul. Don't hold on to anything anymore. Recreate yourself every day. Know that it's possible. The freedom that it gives you as you let go of things that have held you back, you can't even describe it. It's so beautiful. Free your soul. Let everything go. You can do this. Nobody can do it for you. Nobody. Ever. This is the discipline. This is the grace. Thank you. So the topic tonight is 5D portal. And from the conversations and the love and everything that you shared about what you do in your life to make life better for other people is 5D. You're living it by loving. You're living it by listening, by caring, by spending time with people who really need it the most, by loving yourself and taking care of yourself. This is 5D consciousness. You are basically the leaders in the light and love of God. Remember, I am the light. I am the love. I am the truth. I am. And you prove it by your actions, your willingness, your grace, your loveliness, your holiness. Every time you walk out that door and bring some light into someone's day. It doesn't surprise me for one moment. As you do this, you're gracing and blessing yourself. Because remember, if everyone is you, whatever you give, you get. You see? Whatever you give, you get. And that's the grace you give yourself. So in your kindness, in your beauty, you are healing people because they are feeling it and start to understand what it's like to be like that. And they'll try it. They'll try it. They might get slapped back once in a while, but they'll try it. And every time they do it, they know the feeling it gives them. We're all going to heal each other. There are those that show the way, and there are those that haven't learned yet what we know or who we are. You are a divine being of light and nothing less. And don't let anybody tell you different. And everything you need is coming from inside you. And when your higher self sends you out in the world to see the reflection of yourself everywhere you go, in the beauty of nature, in the face of a child, in the face of an elder, wherever you go, whether it's at work or play or just sitting in a park, taking in the sights, the beauty of the people, the children playing, the sounds around you. It is so holy. It's like a symphony playing just for you. Why do you see certain things? It's because you're meant to see them. Why do you hear what you hear around you? Because you needed to hear it. It triggers you into action. Whether it is a prayer to go over to someone who is in distress. I saw a man and he really looked like something was wrong. I thought he was having like a heart attack. And I went over and when I touched his shoulder, he got so scared. And I said, no, oh, no, I just was wondering, are you okay? And he goes, I keep falling asleep. He said, so I sat down quick so I wouldn't fall. And I said, oh, thank God, that's all. I said, I thought you were like going to drop. He goes, well, if I didn't sit down, I would have. So it was kind of comical and we both had a good laugh together. But I was really concerned. I thought that, that he was ill or having a heart attack. So pleasant surprise that he wasn't. So thank you for being who you are. Thank you for loving. Thank you for the wisdom that you share with others. Your story is so interesting to other people, believe it or not, in how you've gotten to where you are, how you can be peaceful and have a smile on your face when most people are like, oh, looking so upset and maybe even scared in the eyes. I see a lot of fear. It is scary. We don't know what's happening. Everything is changing on the planet, so there's so much uncertainty, but just believe that God is watching over us, that everything is in divine order, and that no matter how much you see around you that you just don't understand why it's happening, Just trust that there is a reason for everything, for everything. And when you do that, it's called the great surrender. And when you can surrender to yourself, to God, to your life, that's when the peace starts coming upon you. No longer do you try to control it. It just let it happen. And if it's a rough day, okay, it happened for a reason. Maybe I needed a good cry. Maybe I needed to have a cleansing by, people call it sick. Maybe I just needed to cleanse out some of the chemicals that are in the food, and God knows what else is going on. Or maybe, no matter what, I want to love myself and I want to love people around me. That's all I want. Is that what you want? Yeah. Yeah. We're all exactly where we need to be because you can't be anywhere else, even if it seems like you want to be someplace else. Be very aware of your surroundings. Stay really for a while. Stay where you're familiar, where you're with people that love you and you love them. You can visit relatives, you know, you can go where you need to go. But if you go to strange places, you don't know the conditions or what's been going on there. Just saying, it's a very volatile time in the world. It really, really is. So with all the love of my heart and all the blessings of God, I thank you for being here this evening. We will be going into segment 3, and it should be a beautiful ride tonight. So thank you and God bless you.
We are deeply grateful for this forum. We thank those in attendance for your attention, for your wonderful questions, future topic suggestions, and stories that touched our hearts and opened our minds to new possibilities. Our collective energy has filled this forum with light and love for each other. We are so grateful that each of us bring guides and angelic beings to the forum, raising the frequency even higher. We are grateful for the assistance, inspiration, and guidance from the benevolent beings overseeing the forum. Know we are all deeply loved and richly blessed. Amen.